Remember the crypto crash back in 2022?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Wild times, right?
It was.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into one of the guys at the very center of it all,
Okay.
Kwon,
Yeah.
founder of Terraform Labs.
Mhm.
And we're going to be looking at court filings, investigative articles. We'll even look at Wikipedia.
Interesting.
And we're going to try to figure out, was this guy a visionary leader or was he just like a straight-up con artist?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he kind of embodies that age-old question.
Yeah.
Can someone be brilliant and deceitful at the same time?
Yeah.
And his story really makes us think about, where's the line between innovation and manipulation?
Exactly.
Especially in a field like crypto.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's so new, right?
It is.
It's like the Wild West out there still.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
So Kwon, born in South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
1991. And from what we've read, I mean, he was a really bright kid, even started a company.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got some government funding.
Oh, wow.
But even way back then, there were like these whispers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like mismanagement,
Uh-huh.
questionable business practices.
See, that's what's so interesting is those early whispers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make you wonder, was he always cutting corners or was he just, an ambitious young guy just trying to figure it out?
Yeah, and making mistakes
Exactly.
along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those whispers, they like follow him his whole career, right?
It's like a shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like he just disappeared after that, right?
Right.
He goes on to graduate from Stanford.
Oh, wow.
Works at Microsoft, Apple.
I'm
Briefly, but still. Like,
impressive.
yeah, on paper, he looks like, he's set up for success.
Absolutely. The epitome of, tech success.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So 2018, he co-founds this company, Terraform Labs.
Right.
And the goal is to create a stablecoin
Okay.
pegged to the US dollar.
Mm.
It's called TerraUSD or UST.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was linked to another token, more volatile one called Luna.
Luna. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole system, relied on this complex mechanism called arbitrage.
Right. And that's where I think I get lost, and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's so complex
It is.
that it's almost like, you can't even grasp it unless you're like really, really deep in it.
And that's part of the allure of crypto, but also the risk, right?
Yeah, totally.
Especially for the average investor who might not fully understand all the intricacies.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got this complex landscape,
Yes.
and this is where Kwon cultivates this persona
Right.
online.
Yeah.
He's very outspoken, abrasive.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He was called the King of the Lunatic.
King of the lunatics. Okay. So the question is, was this like genuine confidence?
Yeah.
Or was it a tactic to kind of deflect any scrutiny?
Totally.
Project this aura of like, he knew everything.
Yeah, like untouchable, right.
Exactly.
And it's this persona, this carefully crafted persona that makes it so hard
Yeah.
to answer the question, like, was he a grifter or was he gifted?
Right.
And then we get to the Chai connection.
Okay.
And this is where things get really murky.
Murky, how so?
Okay, so Kwon claims that this payment app, right, it's called Chai.
Okay.
It's in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
He claims that they're using the Terra blockchain
Okay.
for millions and millions of transactions.
So he's presenting it as if
Right.
it's got this real world adoption.
Like huge adoption.
Huge, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's part of daily life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then later, court testimony reveals that this was largely untrue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what was really going on?
Chai was basically mirroring transactions without actually using the Terra blockchain.
So it was all smoke and mirrors.
It seems that way, yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's not just a little exaggeration.
Right.
That's a fundamental misrepresentation.
Yeah, it's a huge red flag, right?
Yeah. It makes you wonder, was he willing to deceive investors from the get-go?
Yeah, just to, like, pump up the value of his creation.
Right. It casts a big shadow over everything he's saying, right?
Yeah.
You have to question his commitment to transparency.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, a technicality.
Yeah,
This was the core of the story that he was selling.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
a red flag that's like, now it's so obvious.
Yeah, in hindsight.
But at the time, everyone was like, this guy, he's got to figure it out.
Right. They bought into the charisma,
Yeah.
the confidence. It's hard to separate, right?
Yeah.
When someone's so convincing.
Especially when you don't understand the technology behind it.
Exactly.
You just trust them.
Right.
You're just like, Oh, okay. He's the expert.
He must know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and then everything falls apart.
The collapse.
The collapse.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, the collapse of Terra Luna.
Yeah.
It was like a seismic event in crypto.
Yeah.
Just billions of dollars gone.
Yeah.
So many investors devastated.
Yeah, it's a stark reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of how risky this whole thing is.
It is.
This whole crypto market, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But before the crash, I mean, Terra Luna, it was gaining traction.
Right.
It seemed like Kwon, like he'd figured it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he'd cracked the code.
Yeah, cracked the code.
Yeah.
With these algorithmic stablecoins.
Mm-hmm.
People were, like, really drawn in by the promise of high returns.
Yeah.
And stability.
Yeah.
Which is ironic.
It is ironic.
Given how it all ended.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Little,
For a while,
yeah.
people really believed that UST, that stablecoin, pegged to the dollar, offered the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
You got the stability of traditional finance,
Yeah.
but with the potential upside of crypto.
Yeah, yeah.
But as we know now,
Yeah.
that belief, it was built on
It's
lead.
like sand.
Sand, exactly. It just couldn't hold.
So what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what made it all fall apart?
Well, the SEC,
Yeah.
they argued that Terraform Labs and Kwon,
Mm-hmm.
they made all these misleading statements about how stable UST was.
Okay.
You know, making all these promises they couldn't keep.
Yeah.
And remember that Chai connection?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was key to their strategy
Yeah.
to get investors
Clearly. Yeah.
to make it seem like it was this widely adopted thing
Huge. Yeah.
when it wasn't.
So it's starting to feel like less like he was a visionary who just like got in over his head
Yeah.
and more like he was just deliberately trying to deceive people.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
When you look at the evidence, and the SEC also alleged that, you know,
Yeah.
they misrepresented how stable UST was and how it was even connected to the US dollar,
Right.
which really eroded trust
Yeah. Totally.
in the whole system.
Okay. So May 2022.
Yes.
House of Cards starts falling apart.
Yep.
UST loses its peg to the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Was it a coordinated attack?
Okay.
Was it a flaw in the algorithm?
Yeah.
Or was it something else entirely?
Right. Right.
I mean, experts still debate the exact trigger.
Yeah.
Some think it was short sellers. They saw weakness and they attacked.
Yeah.
Others think it was just the algorithm itself. Like, it was inherently flawed.
Gotcha.
But regardless of what started it, the
Yeah.
impact was catastrophic.
Yeah.
I mean, when UST lost its peg,
Yeah.
it just triggered this, like, death spiral
Death spiral.
for both
started.
UST and Luna.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, death spiral. Can you explain that? Like, why couldn't they just
Yeah.
stop it?
So the two tokens, UST and Luna,
Yeah.
they were linked,
Okay.
like in this algorithmic dance.
Okay.
So as UST started to fall
Yeah.
below that $1 peg,
Hmm.
it put all this pressure on Luna
Okay.
to absorb the shock.
Mm-hmm.
But then as Luna's price started to plummet,
Yeah.
it just further destabilized UST.
Right. So it was like,
This vicious cycle.
yeah, like a
financial black hole.
yeah, sucking everything
And
in.
sucking in billions
There was no way to like,
to hit the brakes.
yeah, to hit the brakes. Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
I mean, unlike traditional markets where
Mm.
they have like circuit breakers
yeah.
to stop trading when things get crazy,
Right.
crypto, it's decentralized.
Right. Yeah.
So there were no safeguards.
So it was just a
So fall.
free fall.
Yeah.
Wow. Billions of dollars.
Gone.
It's gone.
Poof.
It's hard to even fathom that.
Yeah, it's hard to grasp the scale of it.
Yeah.
But you know what we have to remember
Yeah.
is that behind all those billions
Yeah.
were real people
Oh, yeah.
with families,
Yeah.
with live
And James.
dreams. Exactly. I mean, some people lost their homes.
It's a reminder
A harsh reminder.
that this technology, it's innovative,
It is.
but it's still so new
Yeah.
and so volatile.
And risky.
Yeah.
You know, the potential for gains is there,
Totally.
but the potential for loss, it's
Yeah.
just as high.
So after the crash,
Yeah.
what happened to Kwon?
What did he do?
Yeah. Did he try to fix things or did he
Mm.
just like disappear?
At first, he tried to downplay it,
Okay.
told investors to stay calm,
Okay.
even like expressed remorse on social media.
Oh, wow.
Said he was heartbroken by all the pain his invention had caused.
Okay.
But as things got worse,
Yeah.
he went silent.
Like completely silent.
Deleted his social media accounts.
Oh, wow.
Vanished.
It's almost like a betrayal, isn't it?
Yeah, especially after, all the bold promises, that swagger.
Yeah, king of the lunatics.
Right.
And then when things go wrong,
Poof.
gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
It just added to the anger
Yeah.
that people felt.
Totally.
I mean, they thought he was this charismatic leader,
Yeah.
and then suddenly
Yeah.
he's a fugitive,
Yeah.
leaving all this financial ruin behind.
Yeah, and all those broken promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he becomes the subject of this international manhunt, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, South Korea issued a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
The SEC launched their own investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Kwon insisted he wasn't hiding.
Oh, really?
But no one knew where he was for months.
Yeah.
It was all this speculation,
Yeah.
conspiracy theories,
Totally.
until
March
March 2023,
Yeah.
trying to board a private jet to Dubai.
On a fake passport.
On a fake passport.
Yeah. What a twist.
It's like something out of a movie.
Yeah, totally.
And then it gets even crazier.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you have the U.S. and South Korea
Yeah.
both want him.
Oh, wow.
It's like a legal tug of war to see who gets to bring him to justice.
And then on top of that,
yeah.
you have these allegations that he tried to bribe Montenegrin officials
Right.
to avoid extradition.
It's like every time you think the story's over,
Yeah.
there's another twist.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a breath here,
Okay.
and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the verdict,
Okay.
the penalties,
Mm-hmm.
and what this all means for the
Yeah.
future of crypto.
Yeah, but the big picture.
The big picture.
Yeah.
Stay with us. Welcome back. Before the break, we're talking about Kwon's arrest in Montenegro,
Yeah.
facing extradition.
To either the U.S. or South Korea.
It's crazy how quickly he went from, king of the lunatics
Yeah.
to a fugitive on the run.
It really is. It's like 1 minute you're on top of the world, the next you're trying to slip out of a country on a fake passport.
Yeah, it's a wild ride. So how did the extradition battle end up?
Well, in the end, Montenegro decided to send him back to South Korea
Oh.
to face charges there.
His home country.
Exactly. But before that could happen, remember those forged documents?
Oh, yeah, the fake passport and all that.
Right.
He didn't just get away with that, did he?
No, not exactly.
Yeah.
In June 2023, a Montenegrin court sentenced him to 4 months in prison.
For, forgery.
For document forgery, yeah.
Okay.
He tried to appeal it, but he lost.
So he served time.
He did, yeah. 4 months.
That doesn't seem like a lot, considering the billions lost.
Right. It pales in comparison to the damage done.
But I guess the bigger question was what would happen when he got back to South Korea.
Exactly. Would he face more serious charges?
Yeah, for the alleged fraud with Terra Luna.
Right. Both the U.S. and South Korea wanted to hold him accountable.
Okay, and then in April 2024, there's a jury in New York,
Hmm.
and they find Terraform Labs and Kwon liable for defrauding investors.
Yeah, a big win for the SEC.
It really shows they're serious about cracking down on this stuff.
Absolutely, even in the world of crypto.
So what was the punishment?
Well, this was a civil case, not criminal.
Okay.
So it was more about financial penalties.
Right, not jail time.
Exactly.
So how much did they have to pay?
In June 2024, Terraform Labs agreed to a $4.5 billion penalty.
Wow, $4.5 billion.
It included disgorgement of profits, interest, all sorts of things.
But did any of that money go back to the people who lost everything?
That's the thing. It's not always clear.
Okay.
The SEC said they'd try to distribute the funds to investors, but it's a long process.
So even though there's some sense of justice, it's not really closure for the victims.
It's true. And it raises questions about how we regulate this space.
Yeah, how do you protect people in such a new and volatile market?
It's a challenge, for sure.
Kwon's story. I mean, it's a cautionary tale, isn't it?
Yeah, a reminder to be wary of the hype.
And to do your research.
Absolutely. Don't just blindly trust someone because they seem confident.
So there you have it. The rise and fall of Kwon.
A complex story.
Visionary or con artist? I guess it's up to each of us to decide.
What's clear is that his story has had a huge impact on the crypto world.
And it's a story that will continue to be debated for years to come.
I think so, too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And as always, keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and keep an open mind as we navigate this crazy digital world. Until next time.